Alright, it's time to settle this age-old question of who would win between the two beast espers within the series. Of course, talking about Tatsumaki versus Geryuganshoop. And also, this video was made possible by my incredible patron, a random guy, aka Above Dragon Guy. Thank you so much, my friend. I hope this video is just a little something I can give back to you for your incredible patronage. But unfortunately, my manga bros, I'm going to have to go into some webcomic spoiler stuff to accurately assess Geryuganshoop's capabilities. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen in the story, I suggest you check out now. So here is another firewall. If you have made it this far and you are ready to go into webcomic spoiler territory, let me also warn you that I'm going to be talking extensively about some stuff that Murata has said on his stream regarding future events in the story of the manga. This is like stuff that hasn't even happened in the webcomic yet. And some of this stuff is like a really big deal, and it's not necessarily a concrete spoiler, but it does reveal a lot. So tread carefully. Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, let me just make one more clarification. So this is going to be a different kind of versus video. I'm not going to be really breaking them down extensively or even breaking the fight between them down extensively either. We know what they are about. We know they are both beast espers. But if you would like an in-depth look at Tatsumaki, I recently made and how strong is Tatsumaki video, so please check that out. I'm mainly just going to be looking at all of the evidence and the contextual clues that we have pertaining to what would happen if these two were to fight, and that will essentially give us an answer in the end because it's going to come down to who can overpower one another. Alright, so first things first, let us address the elephant in the room, and that is of course Murata's statement on Geryuganshoop. So he said Geryuganshoop's ability to control flying objects should be above Tatsumaki, because he can eliminate the friction between rocks and air. If Tatsumaki throws rocks like he does, her output would be too powerful. The temperature increase due to the friction and pressure would evaporate the rocks in an instant. Geryuganshoop's psychokinesis can eliminate the friction between objects and air, and the rocks will fly at sub-light speed. Tatsumaki can throw very large objects, but there's a limit to how fast she can throw them. So this is the original narrative that was put forward that led people to believe that Geryuganshoop was stronger than Tatsumaki, therefore he would likely defeat her. However, there is more to this, because in a later stream, Murata was asked, so the pebbles throwing of Geryuganshoop is stronger than Tatsumaki's, and he said, well, I drew it with the thought that it is right, but I don't know whether the thought is the same with one's official setting. Anyway, I drew enemies as powerful as possible when they appear, so there is a possibility that I overstated him a bit more than what one's original setting was. So at the time I drew Geryuganshoop's pebble throwing, I wanted him to be more powerful than her in some way. So there you go, that whole original statement regarding Geryuganshoop is not necessarily concrete, and I honestly think it should be taken with a grain of salt, because Murata is straight up saying here that it doesn't necessarily line up with what one wants. And, you know, we have to take one's word and opinion over Murata's, as he is the creator of One Punch Man after all. But, of course, in the end, you can choose to believe whatever you want. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first so we can just essentially make the foundation for the argument of this fight, because I just don't think that that is necessarily enough to establish Geryuganshoop being stronger than Tatsumaki. So let's keep going. Let's talk about Geryuganshoop's feat from the anime, where he allegedly creates the force of a black hole when fighting Saitama, because Murata also had something to say about this, because he said on a stream that he isn't sure if Geryuganshoop can create black holes, as it seems too powerful. He won't know for sure without asking one. Now, unfortunately, we never get any clarification on this, but I can give you an answer to this myself. And of course, this is just my opinion, but based off of what we see in this scene, this clearly isn't the force of a black hole. I mean, it would be way more outrageous if it was, but also this is comparable to what we see Psychos do to Tatsumaki later on in the webcomic when they first encounter each other. Like, Psychos uses a force similar to what Geryuganshoop is doing to Saitama here, and they both are implanted into the ground in very similar ways. And not only in similar ways, but we can assume similar strength output as well, because the data book states that Geryuganshoop is a dragon level, and this is the same level as Psycho. So they are both disaster level dragon espers. And I'm assuming that their power output would be comparable as well. And I know that Geryuganshoop says that he's the strongest psychic in the universe, but he doesn't know about Tatsumaki, of course. And let us also remember that it was assumed that Boros was the strongest being in the universe as well, and until he came to Earth and met Saitama. And Geryuganshoop is the right-hand man to Boros, and Tatsumaki, you know, for all intents and purposes, is the right-hand man to Saitama, you know, without going into blast and all that stuff. So if we're scaling the potential between Boros and Saitama, I think it's comparable to scale Geryuganshoop's power to Tatsumaki in this sense too. But, you know, that's a little too outrageous, but, you know, just my 2 cents on it. And also, this scene in the anime doesn't happen in the manga. It just simply shows Geryuganshoop throwing pebbles and doing somewhat of a psychic whirlwind. He never talks about the black hole, and he never puts Saitama in the ground. At least the chapters I've read, I haven't seen this scene in there. And also, we have to remember that one gave Madhouse/Bones essentially creative freedom with the way that they wanted to portray the feats and just the scenes in general in the anime from the manga. The only thing that he didn't want them to change was Saitama's original character. And this is clarified in one's interview in the One Punch Man compass that comes with the Blu-ray. So now let's talk about Orochi. That's right, the King of Monsters is going to help us further establish the difference between these two. So Murata said on a stream once that if Boros' generals, you know, meaning Geryuganshoop, Melzergard, Garoribas, all fought against Orochi together and planned it and whatnot, they would have a minimal chance, next to nothing, of beating him. So, yeah, I mean, that's crazy alone. I mean, that says more about Orochi than anything. But he further goes on to say that after all, it's still unsure if Tatsumaki can beat Orochi. So we're going from Geryuganshoop with the backup of Melzergard and Garoribas having absolutely no chance to defeat him. But it's unsure if Tatsumaki can beat him. And let me go even further into that. So Murata further talked about what one originally wanted to happen in the story when we get to the point where everyone's going to be facing off Orochi and whatnot. So he says that the 8 S-Class heroes fight together, where each of them deals with and defeats one of the dragons, and these dragons are referring to the horns on Oroshi's head. Apparently, they were going to transform into a dragon, although they still could, but, you know, that remains to be seen. But he says, while Tatsumaki finishes off Orochi directly. Okay, so originally, it was intended for Tatsumaki to straight up defeat Orochi by herself, or, you know, with the help of the S-Class heroes, but regardless, she is taking him off, and it's stated directly. So originally, one wanted this to happen, and it was already stated that if all of the generals, you know, with Geryuganshoop, with the backup, take on Orochi, they have no chance of winning, and we're finding out here that Tatsumaki originally had the potential herself to take down Orochi. And this still could happen for all we know, but like I stated earlier, Murata said that he is still unsure if she can, and this is simply because I guess he didn't get the full confirmation from one yet. But regardless, this is very telling information. So now let's talk about Geryuganshoop's death, because of course we all know that Saitama assassinates him with a pebble. And we don't really see a psychic barrier or anything like that from Geryuganshoop here. Just this pebble straight up destroys him. And this is not really letting us know if Geryuganshoop even has the ability to put up a psychic barrier. So now you could be saying, well, Saitama threw the stone too fast and Geryuganshoop didn't have time to put up a barrier if he did have one. Well, you know, maybe. But we also have to remember that Tatsumaki does have barriers, and she can put them up quickly. And this was proven when she got Ultra Instinct by Golden S. That's right, she's not taking the full force of Golden S's blows in this sequence, and that's because we still see her standing afterwards. You know, albeit she is very damaged, but Golden S himself says, wow, I'm impressed that you're still standing after this. I guess you put up a barrier. And just simply based off of the implications of Golden S's power and speed, we can assume that he's got to be moving somewhat close to the speed of Saitama flicking the stone at Geryuganshoop. I mean, he does Ultra Instinct her. Come on, there got to be some crazy speed to that. So that pretty much covers everything, I guess, but let me just state one more time that Geryuganshoop is stated to be a dragon in the data book, and we've already seen Tatsumaki take on a dragon level Esper in Psychos, and she can't really do anything to her. I mean, of course, she does bind her, but that's from the assistance of fighting against all the other executives too, and based off of all of the other info and everything, there's no way that Geryuganshoop is winning this. And let me just also add the fact that Tatsumaki can straight up lift Saitama off the ground, and Geryuganshoop shows nothing close to this. I mean, even his debatable canon or non-canon feat in the anime where he does the black hole pressure on Saitama, that does nothing to him. He doesn't even really flinch from it. So the winner is Tatsumaki. I mean, come on, guys. If you think Geryuganshoop would win, then that's fine. You know, you can believe whatever you want, but I mean, just based on everything we've talked about in this video, I think she low to maybe mid difficulties him, honestly. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Once again, I want to thank Random Guy, aka Above Dragon Guy. Thank you so much for your awesome patronage and incredible gratitude, my friend. I hope this video was good enough to give back to you for all that you have given back to me. And if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like. Let me know who you would think would win this in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.